Throughout my entire sneaker reselling journey, I've done over 7 figures in revenue. And I'm currently only 21 years old, full-time college student, and I've been able to turn this passion of mine into a real tangible business. So why don't we just start off with me breaking down my entire journey for you guys. So this is how I originally started reselling sneakers. I was 15 years old. I was in high school at the time. I was a freshman. I had $0 in my bank account, and pretty much I had a friend that was already reselling sneakers at the time. So I started learning from him, and I'm gonna pop up this very first clip here for you guys to see where I was camping outside for him at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. for in-store releases, and I did that very consistently. And looking back at it, it was definitely not worth it because I was only making $20 or $30 for lining up for 5 to 6 hours, sometimes like 7 or 8 hours, midnight. Talking about midnight at 15. So it's definitely crazy, but I'm still very grateful that I had those experiences. And yeah, I started learning from him, and pretty much as I started building more and more capital from lining up, I had enough money to start going for my own initial releases. So that's exactly what I did. It wasn't like a good business model to be in. However, at the time, my whole entire goal was to just buy more shoes for myself because I was a huge sneakerhead at the time, and that was the biggest reason why I even started this business in the first place. Obviously, I had no idea that this is be the turnout after a few years of doing this, but I didn't really take it serious until junior year of high school. Junior year of high school is when I took this business very serious because I went through a very dark phase in my life. I would even say that I was pretty depressed at that time. It was COVID, and I stayed home for a whole entire year and a half. I didn't talk to many friends. I was just, sheltered in a single room, isolated. And at that time, it was the worst time of my life looking back. But I'm very grateful that I went through that phase as well because I came back to this business, and this business was almost like an outlet for me to get away from those negative thinkings or negative thoughts. So yeah, this business was an outlet for me, and I realized that if I just worked so hard at it, I could actually turn this into something that's gonna be something that's full-time, not really still at that time, but something that I could definitely make a decent amount of money on. Because when I first started, again, junior year of high school, that was probably when I was 17 years old, and can't tell you not, that entire summer I worked every single day, and plus I was home every day, so I could do a bunch of meetups, I could do a bunch of work online, join a bunch of discords to learn from others. And that's exactly what I did. I invested in myself, and I invested in my knowledge, and I invested in my business, and I still wasn't really treating it as a business so much until senior year of high school, when it was coming down to me deciding if I want to go to school or not. And obviously, I have Asian parents, so ended up going to school, and now I'm currently attending Province College. I'm studying business there. I'm a junior there already, so looking back, it's already been 4 years, so time flies by, man. But yeah, I was working my ass off. That senior year, I worked every single day. I skipped all the parties. I didn't really hang out with friends after school that much. I went home every single day right after school just to work on my business, just to do all these meetups, just to film all the content. And if you guys look back on my old TikTok videos when I first started, that's exactly how my journey was. I literally cleaned shoes, I posted shoes, I shipped shoes, and I did everything by myself. Super disciplined, super consistent. Still like that till this day, but that level of grind was just different at that time. Just had that grit on my shoulders. It was just different, man. I worked my ass off, and that month right before back to school, which was August, I actually made over $10,000 in profit. And that's when I realized that this was possible, and I realized that everything that I wanted to do is achievable, and all the goals I had for myself is doable. And I feel that was kind of the first spark to something that I never thought could happen. Even making $5,000 a month was a lot, but that very first August back to school, I made over $10,000 in profit, and I wasn't even 18 years old yet. So that was the craziest feeling ever. I wasn't even happy that I made that much money. I was more happy about the fact that I kind of did something that I thought that was impossible. So that's when I realized that I need to start taking it more serious. And now starting freshman year of college, the first few months I really struggled. I really struggled because I was out of state. I didn't have any physical inventory in hand. I didn't know anybody at the school. So I had to kind of really just figure it out. I was coming back home every single weekend to operate the business because I still had to ship, I still had to film content, and I realized that if I skipped one weekend of not coming back home, my business would flop, and I was really scared. And obviously within the first few months of college, I had to really adapt like new strategies and how I'm gonna go about this business going forward, because I was only making like $1,000 or $2,000 a month. So think about it like this: I went from making $10,000 to dropping to $1,000 to $2,000 a month, and I was also working like 10 times harder. I was working like 12 to 15-hour days, and that's not even me being like dramatic. That's just me being realistic. If I wasn't sleeping or if I'm not in class, I was working every single day, and I did that for 365 days that year, and that's the best thing that I could have done. Locked myself in that room and just worked, and obviously getting to this point now, I'm making $40,000 or $50,000 a month. So it's crazy to even look back at those experiences, and I'm very, very grateful for all those moments, and I'm just thankful to everybody that I've met along the journey, because I'm still in huge disbelief that I got to this point this quickly. I always believed in myself, and I always trusted myself, and I always knew that I could do the things I always wanted to do, but I didn't know that it would come this fast, and it feels absolutely insane, bro. I mean, people ask me this all the time. They're like, Jimmy, I see a lot of resellers out there, but I don't see too many people making the type of money you're making, especially at your age. And for me to answer that is, mindset is the biggest separator between your competition. So at a very early age, even a few years ago, I realized that if I want to do anything that's competitive, especially in business is very competitive. Everybody is trying to make money. So if you're trying to get something that everybody wants that's in such high demand, it's going to be hard, because there's going to be people that are working harder than you, there's going to be people that are smarter than you, and there's going to be people that have better connections than you. So I realized that I need to put myself and place myself in that position. So I worked as many hours as I can. I traded my time for money. So very ironic too, because now I'm at a point where I'm telling people to work less hours to outsource the work so you can buy time back to work on the more scalable tasks. A lot of people may not understand what I'm saying here, but the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because in the beginning, you have to trade your time for money, because your time is actually not worth a lot. So I realized that I wasn't, letting my ego get in the way. I realized that my time wasn't worth as what my time is worth now. So I had to just trade my time for money. So I used to work like 15-hour days, and that's just me being as real. This is me like being so honest with you guys, is that other than the few hours I slept, I worked. That's it. Like every waking hour I was working, whether it's posting pairs, whether it's cleaning pairs, whether it's finding more deals. So there's always more work to do in business. And if you're an entrepreneur, you should know this: the work is never done. There's always more work to do. So, when I was 17, 18, 19 years old, I worked as many hours as possible every single day. I think that's what really separated me from a lot of people that are doing the same exact thing. And I always had the mindset where like, oh, I'm not afraid of failing, because I was already in the worst scenario. I was already in the worst position. Like, I wasn't really doing super well in school. My grades aren't the best. If I come out of college, I'm gonna make like $60,000, $70,000 a year, and that's not the reality that I wanted for myself. So I realized that I had to go on. I really had no choice but to go all in. And I don't know about how you guys feel about this, but I feel like it's just such a waste of life if you just ended up working at a job that you don't enjoy, or ended up doing something that you don't want to do in the future while not being compensated that much. Because even $100,000, I feel like it's not enough to live in certain cities nowadays in America, which is still crazy to me, because $100,000 is over 6 figures. It's considered high income, and apparently you still can't live in cities like New York, California, LA, and it's crazy, bro. So I realized that wasn't a lot of money, and I realized that school wasn't gonna, wasn't like the option for me. So I went all in on my business. I went all in on my business, and I worked as many hours as possible, as I stated so many times. But that's exactly what you guys got to do. The times when I didn't feel like doing it, I did it regardless. You don't think that I wake up and I'm motivated. You do think that I wake up and I'll be motivated every single day out of the 365 days? Absolutely not. I don't think that's possible for anybody, and especially like as a kid, I was like literally 17, 18, but I had the discipline, I had the consistency, and I showed up. I feel like just as long as you show up is like the most important part. Even when it comes to going to the gym, like you don't need to be your best every single day, but as long as you show up and at least you try your best to do the work, then you're gonna get far more results than you not doing the work at all. So I would say that's the thing that really separated me from everybody else that's doing the same exact thing. Okay, and this is when I realized that I could turn this reselling stuff into a full-time thing after college, where I no longer have to rely on a 9-to-5 job or just getting a job in general after college. And still, like freshman year, I was extremely worried. I was still applying for internships. I was still going out there to network with different people that were in the work field, and I was just doing anything and everything that I can to place myself in a position where like I'll be good regardless if my business fails. So I didn't really believe in myself 100,000% yet, even though like on paper I was like, yeah, I believe in myself. I know I can do it. I know I can do it. I gave myself so much motivation, but at the same time, in the back of my mind, I knew that the money I was making wasn't too far apart from the 9-to-5 job. So I was still a little bit worried. So obviously, you know, I still tried extremely hard in school, which I definitely don't now. But sophomore year comes around and I realized that I was making a decent amount of money, more than the 9-to-5 job that I would get after college. So that's like when I realized that, okay, I can really go all in on this. And plus at that time I had a group, it's called Startpreneurs. Well, I still have it to this day. It's pretty much a group that teaches people how to resell sneakers for beginners, for intermediate resellers. I have the group still, so if you guys do want to join, it's $50 a month. If you don't make your membership back within the first month, I give you a full refund. I had the group and I had 2 sources of income now, and plus I was doing content, and I remember I flew out to SneakerCon, so that was like another indicator. It made me realize that, okay, like there's so much money out here, like I can really take content to the next level, and then I can also have, you know, my 2 primary sources of income. So I'll be freaking good, all right? I'll be good. And I had that mindset, and I just kind of roll with it, and I just worked my ass off. And now to this point, junior year, I don't even really need to think about the job after college, because the amount of money that I'm making now is far more than what I'm gonna make after college. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. And obviously it's a crazy feeling. And during that time, I was like so worried, because I never wanted to work a 9-to-5. I never wanted to. I never had a job in my life either. I never had a job in my life. And that's not even like discrediting anybody that works a 9-to-5 job. It's just something that I personally don't want to do. I want to be flexible with my schedule. I want to do what I want to do, and I don't want to be told what to do. That's not even like an ego thing. It's just I don't think I work the best when I'm being told what to do. I think if I have like, you know, a peace of mind and free thoughts, I can do whatever the fuck I want, right? Right now I can go out to Miami. You know, right now I'm currently in Miami, and you know, I can just go on trips like this. But if I had a job, I probably can't just like do whatever I want, right? And yeah, I think that's like the biggest thing that I'm like super thankful for, and I'm like super grateful for still till this day. Knowing that I don't have to work a job after college is just like one of the best feelings ever, man. And the message of this video, I would say, is probably to let you guys know that I was just in the same position as you. I was just in the same position as you, right? I was at $0 in my bank high school, and now to this point, I'm currently in Miami right now. I took a vacation out here, and now I'm making over $40,000 or $50,000 a month. So how did that happen? Obviously, like that, I just summed it up for you guys. But how did that happen? It was because I worked my ass off throughout the last 4 to 5 years, and no one really saw it, right? No one really saw it. I just worked, and in my room, no one really saw it, and no one really cared. It was just like the sacrifices that you have to make, and no one needs to know how hard you're working, because the amount of money, because the money won't come by saying how hard you're working. The money comes by you showing the results of your work and actually putting in effective work that provides tangible value in the marketplace. So that's where it matters. And I never let somebody tell me that I can't do anything. I never let somebody tell me or discredit me for something that I know that I could do, but they say that I can't do it. I never let that happen. I never let that happen, and I would never take advice from someone that I don't want to switch places with in life. And I know with me posting this type of content, I'm going to get a lot of hate comments, but that's perfectly fine, because the people that are doing better than you will simply not have the time to even hate on you or just like even look down on you in any single type of way, but it'd be the ones that are doing worse than you that are talking down on you, which is absolutely crazy. And people nowadays in this society, is so common to like hate. They hate on you for trying to become a better version of yourself, and they hate on you for trying to become better in general. I just don't understand that. Why are we hating for someone that's trying to become better? Isn't that like something that we should all strive to do? I just don't understand. But I guess this is how the society is now, and people laugh at each other. People make fun of each other for trying to become better, which is absolutely insane to me. But yeah, no, this could be you guys as well. Doesn't matter what you guys want to do. Like I said, no matter what businesses that you guys want to start. yeah, I think just self-belief, confidence, hard work every single day, consistency. You got to show up even when you don't feel like it. That's discipline. But yeah, just do it for the next 2 to 3 years, and I promise you guys that your life can freaking change, because it did for mine, and I know it will change your life as well. I don't want you guys to waste your life. Why waste a life doing something that you don't enjoy doing? We only get one life, and it's so much better to be rich when you're young than rich when you're fucking when you're rich when you're fucking 50 or 60 years old. So I'm gonna leave it here with you guys, but hope you guys use this message as nothing but motivation to become better. And I really just want to use my channel and all my platforms. Go follow me on all my platforms as well, J Money Cakes on Instagram, TikTok. But I mainly just want to use my platforms to motivate you guys and to inspire you guys to become better, because I didn't come from a rich family. You know, I was an immigrant. I came from China. So now all you have to do is go work towards it. A lot of people ask me, like, how do I start? You start by starting. You just start by starting. You just jump in, right? And you just kind of learn from the mistakes and the trials and errors, and that's how you become better. You don't learn from asking for handouts. You don't learn from asking, oh, can I have this for free? Can I have that for free? I still get people DMing me, asking me to get shoes for free, or like, can I get $1,000 to start your business? Like, bro, I don't even know you, first of all, and second of all, why are you asking me for money? Like, bro, don't ask me and just go start, bro. Never ask for handouts. That's something that I would never do, regardless of how down bad my life gets. But I'm gonna leave it here, guys. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my time in Miami, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next. But once again, don't ever forget to go all in on yourself, and don't ever forget to believe in yourself 100%, because if you don't, no one else will. See you guys in the next.